Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome to December's video game pickups. Along with this, not only going to go through the games, but at the end of this, I'm going to have a whole slideshow of what happened in Anime Apocalypse, or some clips anyway. A lot of the pictures were done by my friend Chris from Simply Photo. I'll have a link to the rest of the photos in the description below. This month has been really short with me due to the fact that I have been at the con and I was working at it. I was in charge of the game room this year as well as doing the website design and everything, as I've probably said in some previous videos. So that's kind of why I haven't gotten a whole lot this month, and also why you guys get to see some of the con. Unfortunately, because I was in the game room most of the time, I missed out on a lot of the other stuff that went on, especially since I went and made a challenge to Spin Dash from Spin Dash Reviews, Panel, following the nerd.com. The challenge was to have him and I go head-to-head in Green Hill Zone Act 1 with the fastest time and highest score. In return, I would have to go through a Sonic the Hedgehog trivia contest with him. Unfortunately, during the time when they did their panel, it was like early in the morning on Saturday at 9 a.m., and during that time I was doing a tournament for Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And I did somewhere around like 13 tournaments throughout the entire weekend, so it was really hard for me getting away. Most of my friends who showed up to support me, I thank you for that. For those who hung around, and all the good times that we had over at Tilted Kilt, hanging out on our free time. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of neat stuff that way. Looking forward to next year. If some of you had made it out to Anime Apocalypse this year, let me know. If you have your own YouTube videos or posts or blogs or something on Instagram, let me know so I can forward some of that stuff onto the con staff so we can look at that as some feedback for next year. There'll also be a feedback form on animeapocalypse.org. And you can also hit us up on Facebook and leave your comments or pictures if you have any. So with that, I'll just kind of go on from here. I will start off with some Sega Genesis games that I picked up. Matt and I ended up going up to Madison to a store that I've had a lot of good luck with in the past, and so we hit that up. First one on my list was Super Street Fighter 2 for the Sega Genesis Complete. It's one that I've been kind of looking at, hunting for, and most of the copies I find aren't complete or missing the manual. Also, for a Christmas thing, a bunch of friends and I got together while we did the Retro podcast, and we exchanged White Elephant gifts. So, those of you who don't know what White Elephant is, it's where everybody brings one or two gifts, you wrap them up, and one person goes and chooses from that pile, and then another person chooses, or they can choose to take that person who went before them their gift. So I ended up bringing two Sega Genesis games, and silly me, one of the games was one that I hadn't had in my collection that I kind of wanted, even though it wasn't complete, but the opportunity I just couldn't pass, so I guess it was kind of greedy of me. The second game I actually gave to the guy who picked up that present originally. He took one of the games I already had, but that game is Aladdin on Sega Genesis. So I have it, and I'll probably pick it up and complete it when I can. Along with that, also up in Madison, I picked up Red Dog, which is a great four-player game for the Sega Dreamcast. Really cool stuff there. Um, I also picked up Unreal Tournament, and I got Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits Volume 2 for Robochan. Since I've been getting a kick out of that, of course, nothing really compares to the full arcade that Greg has. Along with the White Elephant thing, Chris brought around a box of Black Elephant gifts, which after you chose your White Elephant gift, you chose from the box, and that was one you got to keep. And he mentioned, he's like, hey, I got a Dreamcast game in there, and I ended up being Rainbow Six. And I'm horrible at first-person shooters, so this isn't a game I generally pick up for myself, so to grab it from a box, not really cost anything, he was just kind of giving away things, that was awesome for me, and it's complete. Last game, as I said, was really short. I finally found a copy of Magna Carta 2. It's a Korean game. I love the art in this game, and they have a really good cast of voice actors. Johnny Young Bosch, Crispin Freeman, there's a good 4 or 5 of them that I recognize throughout the game. About 10 hours into it, and I'm actually enjoying this a lot better than the Magna Carta Tears of Blood that was on the PlayStation 2. So it is kind of on the pricey end. I think I picked it up for about $35 at GameStop, and it goes for about that on eBay. I'm not quite sure, but I know it is kind of an uncommon game, and it is pretty good. So it is one that I would recommend if you've got time for an RPG game, want something a little different that's not your JRPGs or anything like that, and it has some decent casting for voice acting. The characters are believable, and the art is really nice too. So, but anyway, that's all I've got going on for now. being that it is almost a year since I've done a game room tour, and I've done a lot of work in my living room for that, I may put up that video, so that may be in a couple weeks, maybe if I get around to it, or something else. So if anything happens, any trips I take or whatever, well, I'll end up updating you guys later. So I'll quit jabbing and enjoy the video from Anime Apocalypse.